Hello and welcome to ACESoft Practice Management Systems. Today we're going to look at some ways that ACESoft can help to maximize the efficiency of your small animal or clinic-based practice. Getting started here, we're looking at our fabulous scheduler. And one of the things about this scheduler that's so fabulous is that you get a lot of information at a glance without having to open each individual appointment blob on the schedule. You can see what time the appointment is, who you're seeing, and what the appointment is about. For a smaller, more condensed appointment, such as this one for Emily Dickinson, scrolling your mouse over the appointment pops up and gives you all the details, even that you cannot see on the appointment blob itself. We also have a color coding scheme here. You have every color of the rainbow available to you, and you can use the color coding for anything you like. For ambulatory practices, it works great to indicate regions to help your driving efficiency. In a clinic-based, and in this example here, we're using the color coding to indicate different types of appointments. I'll just open one up here and illustrate. The blue we've got set as routine care, ophthalmic, the purple, etc. It's also very easy to rearrange the schedule. Just simply drag and drop your appointments from one day to another or up and down the day. If you see one that you think you're going to need more time for, simply highlight it and drag one edge of it. You can also copy and paste these appointments from one day to the next, making multiple copies. You can also create a recurring pattern and simply by opening the appointment and going to this recurrence feature, and you can set this appointment to recur as often and at any frequency you like. Double-clicking on an appointment opens the appointment, and the appointment window itself actually provides a portal to many other places in the program. And there's a lot of things that you can do right from this appointment window. One of them is clicking this button here, opens up a notice dialog, and this notice dialog enables you to select a reminder, an appointment reminder, to have automatically sent to this customer via email or text message to remind them of an upcoming appointment. There is a manager where you can select the ones that you want to send and send them out in bulk. There's also a reminder button that accesses reminders in the system for this customer and patient, any that are listed in the appointment. As we can see here, looks like Fred Flintstone is a bad pay, and we're instructed to collect his old balance. It also looks like Dino is due for a rabies vaccine. So we're going to add the rabies vaccine to this appointment by clicking on the procedure selection, and I'm going to start typing in the rabies vaccine, and now that's added to the appointment. I can double click on the customer here and I can see what his balance is. I can actually go to Financial tab. I can look at financial history. This shows a list of invoices and or payments from history. Double clicking on one of those actually opens up the invoice and shows us what was on it. There's also a Receive Payments button that opens up and gives us a list of all the invoices still owed by this customer. You see here too, with this procedure that we've selected, this canine wellness, there's a duration associated with that, and that's built into the procedure and automatically blocks out that amount of time on the schedule for us. From here, we can also double click on the patient, which takes us to the patient record, where we can see Dino's vitals. We can go to Dino's chart and see what we've done for Dino in the past. These are all individual medical records here that we can expand individually and see more details about. We can hit the Expand All button, which opens them all up and allows us to scroll through all the procedures and products that we've dispensed to this patient. Double-clicking on any one of these will open each record, where we can even see them in full view side by side. Clicking Add New is going to open the dialog to create a new medical record. From here, there are many things we can do in the course of creating a new medical record. We can access and complete exam templates, customer handouts, lab submission forms, vaccine certificates, and a plethora of other custom templates. And after we've completed the new medical record, we can click this button here to generate an invoice that will transfer all the information from this medical record to an invoice automatically. I'm going to show you all these features in just a moment, but we're going to access this new medical record from another path. One of the many great things about this program and in its fundamental design is that it provides you the ability to easily get to different areas of the program from just about anywhere. So again, you don't have to close out of one place to get to another, and you can have multiple screens open. We call it Easy Navigation, or Easy Nav for short, and it's one of the cutting-edge features that sets our program apart from the rest. The tracker feature that you see open here is designed to help anyone and everyone in the clinic keep track of where patients are and at what step they are at in the process of treatment, from when they come into the clinic to when they leave. There are two views available in the tracker. Right now we are looking at the resource view, which shows everything by facility and unit. For example, you've got exam rooms 1 and 2, and you can see exam room 1 is occupied, exam room 2 is vacant. You also can see who's in the waiting room, checked in and waiting, and who's ready for checkout. The subject view shows similarly, but in the subject view you actually just see the patients and the facilities or resources to which they are assigned, so you don't actually see the vacant ones. We're going to put Dino into the tracker by right-clicking on the appointment and select Track Event. And we'll see Dino show up, and now we're going to double-click on this resource column, and we're going to assign Dino to the checked in and waiting status, and he's here for, it looks like, some routine care. So I'm going to save that, and he should now populate in our tracker. Now I can just scroll the mouse over without even having to open that up, and I can see the notes from the appointment, and it looks like Fred's running late for work. We want to get him in and out quickly. So I'm going to double click here, open them up, and we're going to assign a provider, and we're going to go ahead and move Dino into exam room 2. And you'll see that he moves right there on the tracker as well. Now we're going to imagine that we're in the exam room and we're here to look at Dino, and we can double click here on this subject detail for the tracker, and this shows the information that has been accumulated thus far, and if someone had put other notes in, we would see them here as well. Now I can double click on Dino and open Dino's record. And here, as we did before, see his medical chart, and we can expand his chart and see his history. We can again check for any reminders that are in the system for Dino, or we can, as we're going to do now, start a new medical record. I'm going to drag this over into our center view, and this is where we left off before when we were accessing this same point from the appointment. This is just another avenue to get there. So now we'll begin creating our medical record, and I'm going to show you a lot of different things that you can do while in that process. We'll start with an exam using an exam template. First I'm going to click here on exams, and here I can see previous exams and the results thereof. See, this was from 3/31 of 16. Looks like the last time we did an exam on this animal. And we can see all the items here from that exam. We're going to go ahead and add a new exam. I'm going to click here and pull up the Canine physical exam template and just run through, and this one's set up for point and click. Now these exam templates are all completely customizable. You can edit the ones that come with the program. You can create your own, and when you're done filling it out, you simply save and close. And if you want to see the results, just generate the data here, and we can now see, along with the exam from last time, here's the exam results from just now. There are a number of things that you can do with this exam record, sorting and filtering and searching for specific items and values. Another thing you can do with these exams is create different templates for different types of exams. If you want to have an exam specific for an ophthalmic exam, for example, it's easy to create one and be able to select from your list of different exams. I'm going to close up our exams now, and we're going to add some procedures to our medical record. This is our procedure selection, and we can start typing in to search from our list, or we can also look at our categories of procedures. And one of the things that you can do with the program, which a lot of people find quite helpful, is to categorize procedures that would be typical of a certain type of visit. In this case, we're doing a canine wellness, and so this brings up a list of all the items that would likely accompany that. So it works as like a checklist to get all the charges in that you would typically do. We're also going to add a rabies vaccine. So I'm just going to click again on the procedure list and start typing in rabies vaccine, and there it comes up on my list, and I'm going to add that in. Now we're also going to add an item to prescribe, a dispensed item that will, let's see here, we'll give them some amoxicillin caps, and we're going to give them 15 of those. And right here from the medical record, we can highlight that item and go to our RX feature, click on that, and it opens up our prescription dialog. And this will enable us to create a label just by hitting the print button. You can see I've got a pre-canned instruction for this that we can change for now, or we can use it as is. And then we just hit the print button, and out comes our label to the label printer. Moving along, we'll go ahead and close our prescription and add a soap narrative. If you blinked, you missed my typing all that soap narrative in there because I'm such a fast typist. So as you can see, I've added a narrative to this medical record. Now I'm going to hit the apply button, which saves the record into the system. And now that gives me the capability to view any reminders that I have created from this medical record. These are these reminders that you see here were actually automatically generated from the procedures that we put into this medical record. We could edit them if we want to change the date or change the message on them right now if we wanted to. But I'm just going to leave them alone and close that. I just wanted to open those up to show you. Now I'm going to show you one of my favorite and what I think is one of the most cutting edge features of this program is our smart templates. I'm going to click on this button here, and that brings up a list of several available smart templates. And again, these templates are completely customizable. You can build your own, you can edit the ones that are here, and there's just some amazing things that you could do with them. So first off, I'm going to show this Aftercare instruction sheet. And I click on that, and you'll see that it's automatically populated with the owner information and the patient. And here's a place where we can draw, write information. This could instead be set up as an edit box for typing into, like the comments is done here. And then we've also got a variety of point and click items here just to help expedite the process of filling one of these out. And then of course as you scroll down you'll see there's more information. We've got a point and click exercise and a looks like a scribble it in feeding instruction area. Now you can print this out and hand this to your customer. You can also save it and attach it to the medical or the patient record. Now I'm going to close this and let's look at some of these other smart templates that are in here. This is a Cairo Canine. Let's look at the Canine draw template. Now here again you see that it's populated with information from the patient and the medical record. And this is the soap notes from that medical record here. If you'll recognize those, it's populated there. And again, you've got some point and click functionality, again, to help expedite filling these out. And this one has the ability to draw right over this picture. Some of these actually have a ability to pull an external picture into the template that you can then annotate or draw over. There are some that allow you to pull in multiple pictures, again from outside sources, where you've got you're combining the information from that medical record with that external information. We've got there are many smart templates from which you can select, and as I said, you can make your own. Here's a rabies certificate, for example. You see it gets all pre-populated with everything but the vaccine name and lot number information. You fill that stuff in, and then this one's set up that you can do your signature with a stylus, or you can instead elect to have a signature pre-canned and show up there automatically. Now back to where we were. Now if we're satisfied with what we've put in the medical record, now we can easily generate an invoice by clicking on the Generate Invoice button. Doing so actually pulls up a list of medical records for this customer that have not yet been invoiced, which would enable us to combine multiple visits or visits by multiple patients onto the same invoice. In this case, we just have the one, and I'm going to select it, and that just created an invoice for us. We can double click on it and bring up the invoice. There's the charges. We can enter a memo on this invoice. We can email it. We can print it out, which looks something like this. Again, this is a customizable template that you can customize to your own liking. We can give them a discount if we like, but I'm just going to close this, and I'm going to go back to the medical record here and close that, and that's going to close all those other windows. Now we're back at the subject detail of our tracker, and I'm going to update Dino's status and move him to ready for checkout completed. And when I save that and close it, you'll see that his status gets changed, and this should alert the people at the front office that Dino and Fred are ready to check out, and so they can go right into Fred's record there and see his balance, go to that financial page and hit the receive payment button. If he still needs to print out the invoice, you can see it's this one right here. We can open it and print it out, email it, whatever we want to do. If we hit the auto apply button, we're going to collect for his entire balance. We can select the payment type. If we're using our credit card feature, we can swipe the card, hit the process online button, and that will send the money to the bank. Now we're going to close that, and we're going to go back and we're going to move Fred and Dino now off of the tracker, and we've got two options. We can release to completed, which basically just takes it off the list here, Or if Dino's going to be staying with us for a while, we can click on hospitality, and that moves Dino to our hospitality or boarding module. So I'm going to minimize the tracker, and I'm going to open the boarding module, which we do from the scheduling tab. Here we are in the hospitality screen, and you can see Dino has arrived here. We're going to double click on this area next to him, and this is where we can assign Dino to a specific locale. Let's put him in the Puppy Palace throne room, and he's in today, and we're going to have him out tomorrow. And so I'm going to save and close this. We can of course put notes there to give feeding instructions or anything else that we want to do. So this shows us our boarding resources and how they are currently in use, and we can reserve areas for future use. We can zoom in to see weekly, daily, or hourly view. Zoom back out to see a bigger view, of course. We can scroll back and forth to look out to the future or back in the past. Now, you may not want to use all these fabulous fancy features. You may want to just access your patient and record from a contact list. Well, you can do that. We're going to go over to the contacts list, and here is just what that is. You can organize your contacts by any grouping you like, category if you will. You can sort by any of these columns. You can add more columns if you desire, and you can even do groupings by column. Let's say you want to group all your customers by city, and that shows you all those. There's also a search function that allows you to search on any one of these criterias. If we want to search on first name, for example, and we'll start typing in somebody's name. There's Fred Flintstone, just by typing up the F, and you can see he's from the city of Bedrock. From the list, of course, all you have to do is double click to go to their record, and you can see the list of patients. Double click on a patient, and there you are in the patient record. Medical chart, add a new one. Again, we're at that same point, that starting point for creating a new medical record, just from another pathway. I'm going to close that, but let's say you don't want to work from a contacts list, and instead you prefer to work from patients. Here's a patient list. We've got a search by location. Again, you can group by contact last name. You can pull that grouping down. You can sort by patient name. You can sort by contact name, contact last name, etc. Double clicking on any one of these takes you to the patient record. Medical chart, add a new record. Throughout the program, we keep this list consistent in that it works the same way in every list. So you've got your patients, your medical records, prescriptions, procedures. Speaking of procedures, ACESoft Manager also has a fantastic procedure building feature. Enter a reminder that will automatically be generated for the patient when this procedure is put into a medical record. There's also, as we spoke earlier, the duration feature, which automatically blocks out the appropriate amount of time on the schedule when this procedure is put into an appointment. You also have the ability to incorporate inventory items with each procedure, and you can elect for each procedure whether or not you want those inventory items to affect the price or not. You also get our inventory module. Again, you see that familiar list format. Our inventory management facilitates tracking in multiple locations or different areas in your practice, in addition to lot and expiration tracking. The accounting module provides accrual and cash basis accounting for accounts payable, accounts receivable, and generates numerous reports to help you stay on top of your finances. We also include a custom report creation tool that allows access to all the data tables in the program, and a form designer with which you can edit and design all your own templates and forms. As you can see, ACESoft is a powerful and full-featured program that's very easy to use, and we have only barely scratched the surface in this video of what this program can do for you in your practice. For a more in-depth look and a personalized tour, I encourage you to give us a call and speak with one of our tour guides. We can be reached toll-free at 877-977-2237, or you can find us on the web at acesoftvet.com. If you're calling from out of the USA, our direct number is area code 619-445-2237. Look forward to hearing from you. Have a great day.